CarolJo's.com. Okay, this is just weird. Normally, YouTube is darker and TikTok is lighter, but for some reason, I'm going to check my lights here. YouTube is lighter and TikTok is darker. I don't know why. We're just going to go with it. I'm going to bring up my backup account so I can see comments as we are going through this. I do different things on the lives here. We do blah, 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 blah. We've been dealing with something and it's just been taking me a moment to get back in. Sorry. So we do different things on our lives. We do chats twice a week. We do tutorials twice a week. And this week we have 5 different sales. We have a basket sale, a silicone sale, bring back sale, bead sale, and charm sale. To see my schedule on TikTok, it is pinned as in the profile. To see my schedule on YouTube, it is in the shorts. And that will tell you what day and time I'm live for everything. Hi, Rosie. So that is what we've got going on with that. Tonight is a tutorial night, and I'll show you what we are making here, what we're going to be learning. I've got 2 examples now. We have what we're calling the beaded, I got to think about beaded zip buddy. They are zipper pulls. So you can stack those beads with the 3 abacus beads and the 14 millimeter octagon in all the different ways there. The true colors show correctly over on YouTube. TikTok, the lights are fading out that top color. It is more of a deeper coral than it's showing there. It's not as bright as what you guys are seeing. The light is reflecting off of it. But what you will, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, if you guys can share, oh, we got the shares. Thank you. Hi, Geraldine. If you guys can keep liking away, we will be doing giveaways here at 10,000 likes and 10 shares. We got the 10 shares. We just got to get to 10,000 likes. All right. I want to make sure. Hi, Ashley. Sorry, I didn't say hi to you right away. All right. So what we're going to talk about tonight is our tutorial for the beaded zip buddy. So I'm going to show you here once again. I'm going to show them over here on TikTok and then I'll come to you YouTube. You will need 14 millimeter octagon bead, 3 of the 14 by 8 millimeter abacus. So that's what we got there. Then our closure is a zipper, or it's for the zipper pull. It is a lobster claw on a swivel. And then we just have the cord. The cord just needs to match your beads. I have, my 2 options are black and white. And with both of these, I thought white would be better than black. That is the, that. You can choose if you want to have a 1.5 millimeter cord or a 2 millimeter size cord. Here today, I have these both are the 1.5. So that's all it takes to make these for this. Hi, Murda. What you will need for supplies, or tools, you will need a loop turner. It doesn't matter if it is the large loop turner or the small loop turner, because you're just going to put the 4 beads on there, so either size will work. You will need a pair of scissors to cut your cord. And depending on how much grip you have with your hands and can pull those knots, you will either need a flat nose or chain nose plier or one of the knot grippers, or if you have enough strength in your hand, you can do it with just your hand. So those are optional, those 2, depending on your hand strength. And you will also need some sort of flame. I do use a butane torch to use mine. You can do a lighter if you'd like. Hey, Melissa. Thank you. It's called humidity. We really do not. Hi, Lulu. My hair curls based upon the humidity of the day. Anybody else have that issue? So we need to pick out our colors for what we're going to make for our design. I am going to point you all down while we do that. Hi, Dolphin Duet. So here we go. I'm going to point you down. There's for one, and then here's for the other. Okay, I'm going to show you. What I have up for when I do my tutorials is these are the extras when I get my bags. And if there is not enough to make a full bag, I put them in a bag. And that's what I do for all of my stuff here. That's why they're always in bags and not like sorted like I have behind me. All right, so these are my extras of the octagons, which are 14 by 6 millimeter or 14 by 8 millimeter octagons. And then we have the these are 14 by 8 abacuses. And I always get octagon and abacus crisscross. So you guys, if I say the wrong one, just know I didn't mean the wrong one. And then these are the 14 millimeter octagons. Now we just need to pick colors that we like that go together. They don't have to be in some sort of an ombre-ish type look or primary colors plus white. You can pick whatever you like that goes together. So that is what I am going to be doing here, is that we're going to pick, okay, of all things, one of my cousins, her husband is a big, huge Rams fan. Don't like that one in there. Don't like that one in there. Maybe this one. Yep. Okay, for one of our examples here tonight, this one right here. Are you talking about this one, Ashley? We are making the Beaded Zip Buddy, which is a zipper pull. Yep, and that one is, oh, I can't remember the name all of a sudden. Like Sea Breeze. This is Sea Breeze. So there's one we're going to put together. Rams colors. Not my favorite team at all. And then I want to pick out another one while we have them out, because you can make, we're going to have enough time to make more than one here in this live. What I want you guys to think about: dark purple, tan, and light and dark pink. So dark purple, tan. I'm just looking at my colors of what I have for the abacuses or the octagons and seeing what we can get. What if we did this one with that one, and then, no, I don't like that one in there. Maybe that one, a corally color instead of a tan, or maybe this one. Nope, I don't like those. I'm not liking that one. Hold on, we'll figure this out. Oh, thank you. This is we made on one of our lives. The reason why I have these all spilt out too, not just because I'm looking for colors, but I want you guys to think about one of the things. If you are someone that ooh, hold on, I might have it, Joya, that does in-person events, they always talk about giving you an experience. And so this is a possibility where you can give an experience while you're doing this at a show. And I'll explain it as soon as I figure out what, I like these two colors together. Now I just got to figure out something else that goes with them. So what they mean by experience is allowing somebody to pick out their items and putting it together in a few minutes type thing, and allowing them to have an experience. Here we would be allowing a child to have the experience to put this together. And that would just give them something that they're proud of and that they would love. And so if you would put these in containers and like maybe have all the blues in one container and all the reds in another, you could even, ooh, red, white, and green for the Mexican flag. You could really, truly put them like in a muffin tin or something, or in one of the craft containers, and that will allow you to have them out in kind of semblance where you could pick colors type scenario. Those are the same one. All right. I'm just having a hard time picking another color. Ooh, what about this one here? I might change my mind on the pink there, Miss Joya. Ooh, I don't like him. He's got a little nibble out of him. Hold on. I like this. I like the ombre effect. Whoops. Come back here. There's one for the ombre effect. Okay. Yep. And then if we did white, red, and green, we need another color in there for like the Mexican flag. Unless we did, because I don't know if I want to do more white. So is it more prevalent red or green? I do not know what Miss Sweetheart Strings. Because we could do something like that. Can you guys see that one here? So I can set that one there. Whoops, I left my last green there. So that's the thing I want you guys to think about too. Also, why I wanted to do this too is because it is, hi Zuli. I want you guys to think about what can you make to add to your display. So if you're someone that does some of the silicone things and items, what can you add to your display that is a very quick thing to be able to put together and fill up part of your display? It just needs to be cohesive with what you already have. And that's another thing why I was doing this one, is that these, we just picked out 3 colors. It's going to take us longer to pick out our colors than it will be for us to put this project together. Okay, so we got 3 different ones that we're going to make. I need to get, what did I do with, hold on, I thought I had them on the table and I don't. I had my, what I'm looking for is my swivels. I had them out earlier today and now I'm like, where did I put them? Oh, here's where I put them. Oh boy. I have had a mess in my bead room for the last week, and I started putting things away today. Got it. Huh. Hey, Chris. How are you? There. So I just need to get 3 swivels here. All right. So what you're going to need to make these are your loop turner, and you're going to put your beads on in the order. First on is the last off. So if you're looking at this example here, this is the bead I'm going to put on first, my 14 millimeter octagon. Then I'm going to put this abacus, then this one, and then this one. We're going to start from the bottom and work up. So here for this one, I just need the blue, yellow, white, blue. That is how we're going to put on our beads. Next, I need about 18 inches of the cord. I'm just using the 18 inches of the 1.5, and I'm just guesstimating on the length. I don't get out a ruler. About 18 inches of the 1.5 meter cord. We have our swivel. You see how the swivel has that D part here? We are going to thread this through the D. Now, most of the time, we always come down and say, make them even. This one, we are not going to do that. We're going to have them off center a little bit. And one is going to be a couple, maybe 3 or 4 inches longer than the other one. There's no math to the exact size, okay? Now, well, I hope everything gets better for you, Chris. Now we're going to take this, wrap it around my finger up here by the swivel end. Take your cords that are at the end and bring that through, because we're going to create a knot at the top. So we're going to, and you can have it as close to the swivel as you want it. I just put it on. I'm pulling it with my hand. That's our first knot. Then we're going to take our loop turner where we have our open loop in that hook part. We are going to hook those 2 cords at the end of the shortest one. Close this up, turn it upside down, take and hold the outside of the beads and pull this through. Okay, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to pull this through. We've got our beads on. Now, if you noticed, we have a little loop here at the end. And that's just to give them extra room to fiddle with. Kids are fiddlers. They just need something extra to fiddle on. So that's why we have the little loop on the end. Hi, Julie. To give them that little loop to fiddle, you take your cord and go back to your octagon bead like so. And I want to bring this cord through my octagon bead. To do that, you take your loop turner and put it through the direction you want to pull that cord through. So we went from here to here because I want to pull it this way. We're going to put the end of that cord in the loop turner in the hook, close up the hook, bring this through. Don't pull it all the way through or you're going to pop off of that cord. But we're going to pull that up as much as we can, bring this together, and decide how much of a loop do I want to make. There's no science to how long this loop is, just until you're like, yep, I like that one. That's literally how I decide how to make it. Then you take your finger, go around your finger, go between the yellow and the blue on the side that your finger's on, come around the back end of it and up between the yellow and that blue, and then take your cord, go through the loop, and now we're going to pull this in. We want to pull it tight, but let's hold on to this end here because we don't want him to go up in. This is where I grab my pliers so that I can pull that tight. Okay. And that's how we do that part. Now this next part, I want to get him tied off too. So once again, around my finger, around the back side, you know, this side here, come underneath. So it's underneath, and then back up and go through the loop that you created. Not the loop at the bottom, but the loop that you created. We're going to push this knot up to the top at the bottom of my blue bead here. Grab the pliers and pull on that to get that tight. Okay. We are now going to cut off these 2 pieces. Whoops, hold on. I'm not going to cut them off yet. Forgot one step here. We're going to go through the yellow. I want to bring this piece up through the yellow and hide my knot, because I want to hide the one in the middle. This one's just for decoration. This one is not. So I went through my yellow in the way that I want to pull that up. Put it in there. Close that up. Pull this up this way. Now pull this. There we go. And we hit our knots. You can't see the knot. Now here's where we're going to cut them off. We're going to grab our scissors. We're going to cut off this piece. We've got that open still. Grab your torch and then singe off that edge. There we go. And we want to hide that. There we go. We got it hid. Now, this one right here, just grab your scissors and cut as close to the knot as possible, but not cutting the knot off. And then, got to find our end here. He is right here. I might not have pulled him tight enough. I didn't. Oh, no. He didn't get pulled tight enough, even if I used. So we're going to start this one over, everybody. I got mine on Amazon, is where I got mine. You can buy them on Amazon, and I keep saying that. We're not supposed to say it. The Zon. And you can also get the butane refills things in there. So, sorry, my husband's swearing at the TV. His team is playing. So, okay, I gotta think about this. Okay, this is where the torch end. This end has a little hole here, and that's where you fill the butane in at. And then right here tells you your level. You can't see the level there on the camera, but that helps you. So he fills it up for me. All right, we're going to redo this one because I did not tie that bottom nut tight enough. 18 inches of cord. Hi, Laura. Woohoo! All right. I'm not going to finish it then. I'm going to bring you guys up. We're at 11K so that you guys can do our, yeah, I think they're really cute too. And hello, everybody on YouTube. I do not have, when I go down, I don't have a backup account, so I can't see your guys' comment. But when we come up, I can. And you guys can guess along with those on TikTok, because we have enough that we're going to do a giveaway. I just got to come up with our color. Here we go. I got it. Now we're going to start it. So everybody in the chat, put colors. And then we'll go back down and we will do our example again. Oh, cool. So someone said that the hardware stores and Walmart will also have, and I'm not supposed to say that one either, the Mart, will have the butane torches. And then after I got mine and I wanted my husband to fill it, he goes, why didn't you just ask me for one? I have multiples out in the shop. And I'm like, because I didn't know you had one. All right, Lulu, you are the winner. And I do not. Yep, I have one right here. We're going to do $5 off your invoice, your next invoice. Hi, Mia. Today is the 15th. All right, we got you. I'm going to grab a container here. They are really high right now. There we go. Put that in there so I don't lose that. Ooh, there you go. All right, I'm going to point you all down for just a moment again. Or really more than a moment. We're going to show you how to do this again. If you guys are hearing Ryan, I am so sorry. It's football season. All right, 18 inches of cord. Loop turner. We are going to put on, I got to get a piece, there's a piece of hair on this one, so I want to get it off. There we go. We are going to put the blue octagon, yellow abacus, white abacus, yellow. Then we're going to take through that swivel part of our lobster claw with the swivel, put that through, uneven, do not make them all the same size. You can't hear him? Okay. He's loud. Then create a knot at the top. And this is how we are. This is the shouting happens all the time when we're watching football. Not just today. All right, so we got our knot at the top. We're going to put our beads on. Pull those down. All right, there we go. We got our beads on. We're going to create our loop. So we're going to go back through our blue bead from the top down so that we can bring that piece of cord through part way, but we're going to create that loop again. I was watching the game with them up until I came to go on the live. Now, if you noticed here, my loop has this piece in the center of it. So I'm going to want to take that out. Make sure that this piece, the shorter tailed one, is not in the loop at the bottom, okay? So we're going to create as long as we want there. Then what we're going to do is that we're going to take our finger, go around our finger, come up between those beads, the last one and the second to last, and then we're going to create a knot. And if you can, I just put my finger through here to hold it there, and then I pull. If you can't get it tight enough on your hand, that is fine. Grab a plier and make it tighter, except for I made it tighter on my finger. There we go. Now I want to take my loop turner, go through the yellow from the top to the bottom, because I want to hide that knot. Get that in there and hide the knot. Pull on it and pull it up. There we go. Now, here we have our bottom one. This is where I didn't tie it tight enough last time. So we're going to tie our knot here at the bottom. And it just goes around that loop that we created that is at the bottom. Grab our pliers and we're going to tug on this thing. And I'm also going to hold this once again. There we go. We got it this time. We're going to use our scissors. We're going to cut this one off. We're going to singe it. That will keep it all together. We will take this one. We will cut this off. So if I didn't get it all the way cut. Go this way so you're out of my way. There we go. All right, and then singe this off. There we go. Push that down to hide our, goes that way to hide our knots. There we go. And there you are. Ha ha. Second try was good this time. And it's only because I didn't get my knot good the first time. I know I need better scissors. I like these for how pointed they are, but they are not good at cutting my cord. And these are too big. So I need something in between. I need good, sharp, little baby scissors. Okay, once again, for our second one, we're going to put our octagon on first. It's a zipper pull, Mia. Darker purple, medium purple, lightest purple. Okay, I'll go look for those. It's a scissor pieing day. So there's our beads for the second one. We're calling these beaded zip buddies. They're a zipper pull. We're going to get about 18 inches of cord. I don't measure, I just cut to look. We've got our swivel. We're going to go through that D-ring part of the swivel. We're going to come down. It does not, don't make it even. So one's going to be shorter than the other one. Tie this a knot right here at the top. Okay. I can do that. So there we go there. Now, come down here at the end of the shortest one and use your hook of your loop turner and hook on those two strings, close it up, and then push these 4 beads on from the outside. And then get that there and get these all, there we go. We got them. Now we're going to make our little loop by going the opposite way from the top to the bottom, because I want to pull this way. So whatever way, if you're going to use your loop turner, you want to put it in so that the hook end is at the bottom of where you want to pull it through. So open this up and then put that in there. Then grab a hold and pull it through. But don't pull this all the way through. Just pull it part way through, because you want to have that little loop, not that big loop, but you want to have. Why do I leave the loop end here? The reason why is you can do it differently, but what I was thinking is, when I was thinking about making these zipper pulls, is that when you use these, kids have something else to play with. They can just play with this, because kids are always touching everything and pulling on stuff. It's just another sensory thing for them. You could leave the two tails off on the end. You could just do a loop here at the bottom and then have the two tails at the end and just do that. But that's the reason why I did it, is for a sensory thing. Just dealing with kids, sometimes they need it. So we have that little loop there. We came between these two beads. I take my finger, go around the bottom of those two beads, and I come up in between those last two beads. And now I am going to pull my string through and make sure everything stays in between those last two beads. And we want to make sure that we've got our tail, so I put my finger on that. Yep, I sure can, Maribel's. Just pull that tight. And then what we're going to do is we are going to go between the dark and the medium purples, bring our cord through so that we can hide that tail. Bring that up like that. Now we're going to take this short one and we are going to create our knot at the bottom. Go around. So I just use my finger to go around. See how I've created that loop? And then take your end and just go through that loop. This is the loop that we're going to leave. This is the loop to create the knot. There's two loops. Pull this tight. I'm going to use my pliers. There we go. Grab the scissors. Cut this one off. Cinch that one. There we go. Come up here. Open this up so we can get into this one. I'm going to use these for a second. There. I could get in really close when it was less. And then singe that one, but don't singe the bead. There we go. Hold on. I want to cover up my knot. There we go. I got my knot covered. There you are. And that one is with a light brown sandy color and the 3 purples. Okay. Now someone is asking what you would do if you don't put the loop on the end. So this one we're going to do white, green, red, green. Okay. 18 inches of cord. Probably don't need 18 inches if you don't have the loops, but I'm just going to make it there. You probably only need about 12 to 15 inches or so. Just put that on. This time you can make them even or close to even. Hi there, Candy. Create our loop so that we can create our knot at the top. Okay, as soon as I get done with this one, I will do the giveaway, Lulu. So there's our knot at the top. This one will be a lot easier to make. So if you're thinking about doing these for shows, this one may be the one you want to do for the show. Then pull those 4 beads through. See, this is why you do it at the end, in case you get it stuck in your loop turner. Now, I put all 4 of those beads on. Take your finger, wrap it around, create a circle or a loop to pull those ends through again. You're just making a knot. Get those as close as you can, and this is where I end up having to get my bead reamer out. We talked about this last week so that my knot's in the right spot, and I want to push it down. Get it down there and then pull it. We got a knot there. Now, what I would do is, depending on how long you want these, go and then cut off your end. Well, don't cut it off yet. You're going to put a knot. This is where I have a hard time, just to let you know, because I have to have everything very symmetrical. And if they're not beside each other when it's all done, it drives me nuts. But doesn't mean that you can't not have it perfect, and it's okay. Ryan, put a knot there. Same thing with this one. Do another loop at the bottom here. Pull this one through. Try to get it as close that you can to the other one. Sorry, I'm going to put this down on the table to do this so I can get them there. There we go. We got the 2 knots, okay? Do you see where I'm talking about? You have the knot up here so the beads don't move down. But these 2 knots are going to be used so that it will stop the cord from fraying. Cut off your ends. These will be easier to cut with these scissors than between beads. Get the flame out. Do each end. Singe each end. There you go. And then that's what it looks like. Hold on, I'm going to bring it up, everybody, so you can see them side by side. It's hard for me to show them side by side when you guys are pointing down. All right, so this is one without the loop on the end, but we have 2 knots, okay? And then here is one with the loop. So doesn't take that much to make either one of them, but that's what they look like different. Does that help you out, Maribel? Either one works. Really, truthfully, either one works. All right, we're going to come up with a color. There we go. All right, you're welcome. You can put focals on them too. The reason why I didn't do focals on these is because I wanted to show you something that was very inexpensive, and there's a reason why. I'll talk about it after we get done with our giveaway here. And I'll explain the whole entire what I look at for marketing about this. If you are someone that does in-person shows. If you're not someone that does in-person shows and you're just doing it for fun and to gift away, then yes, by all means. But there's a reason behind why I showed you what I showed you. And we'll talk in a moment. There we go. Sorry, YouTube. You guys are kind of tilted for some reason. I'm trying to get you right. There we go. You were tilted. Okay, I'm going to give you a clue. It is candy. Somebody got it. Let's see who it is over here on. All right. Paige is the winner and Murda was second. You guys were a few seconds apart from each other. Paige, you will get $5 off of your invoice. I have to get a piece of paper to write that down on. So hold on. Let me grab that. All right. You're welcome, Paige. And I have some beads that I need to add into our bead soup. So tomorrow we'll have bead soup when we do our bring back sale. Okay. Hey, Nina, how are you? So the reason why I selected the beads and everything that I did for this one is, okay, if you are someone that does, I'm doing good. It's Monday and it's like been a great day. If you are someone that does in-person shows, you always have to find a way to get people to stop at your booth and get interaction so that you can create connections with them. One of the easiest ways for that is if you have children. I know this is going to sound really strange, but parents are more often, the moms are going to be more often to do something with their kids and purchase a lot more with their kids when they're certain ages. So if you're looking at like a 6 to 9, 10-year-old, you can sell to those parents, like the moms, and get them to stop in your booth. And so it has. This isn't even, it's like there's where the bottom of it is. It has gotten there. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Angela. And so I wanted to show you how you can create something that's inexpensive and to get the parents to stop. So you could have these made up in advance with something that's very inexpensive and the parents are going to be like, oh, it's inexpensive. What else is in there that I can get? And that is a way to stop, and then you can cross-sell other things for them with it. Yep, it's naturally, my hair is naturally like this. Every day is a different wave. It never waves the same. So when you can put this on their backpacks, on their coats, they can do it. They could do school colors. They could do their favorite like team colors. When you think about these, so when I was creating these, if you heard primary colors, when I think of this, I definitely lean towards the little boys. If you guys heard me when I was creating this one, I'm like, this is the Ram colors. So there isn't a lot of things at craft shows for little boys. And they will be there with their parents and are going to be bored. If you would set this out so that they could pick out and you can make this really quick, if this one is faster for you to make than this one, do it. Figure out which one is the easiest for you to do and then be able to create it. Sometimes when you have these experiences though, you might need a second person at your booth to help check other people out while you're doing that experience with that child. Hi, Kate. So just want to give you some advice on that. I have my experience that I did when I did shows is that we did the charm jewelry. It stopped a lot of people to sit and pick. And sometimes like if they came with a group, one person would sit and pick out that, but then their friends would go and do other jewelry. So that's what I want you guys to think about. And right now, experiences are very big with people and trying to figure out how to do it. So that's why I wanted to do something that the parents are going to look at this and go, okay. So, I mean, when you think about this, you have the clasp, and I think these are 25 cents a piece. You buy you get 3 of the octagons in a bag for $1, and then you get 10 of the abacuses in a bag for $2. And that means you could make 3, you'd have to go, okay, so with that, so you got $3 in the beads, and then if you bought 3 of these, that's 75. So you have $3.75 plus the cord is your expenses. And you could sell these, I would say, for between each one at least $3, if not $5 a piece. And giving that child an experience and giving them something that they're proud of that they got to help make. If you don't have the capacity to have someone help you or want to do the time away to create these, you can still have these set up in the front and the kids are going to stop and want to see what they are. So what I would say is if you're going to do these, get a little mini backpack or something and put this zipper pull on it to show them so that they know what it is and know what they're creating or what you're creating. So it's a very inexpensive way to get people to stop. And that's what you want to do when you're doing your in-person shows, is you want to have a way for them to stop and get them to look in your booth. It gives them time, because sometimes people are like, okay, what is this? Can you explain? And that's the time that you now have the means to connect with them. You can put up signs, but let me tell you, you will have the signs up and people will still ask. What would I put on the sign? I would just put, like, you can do, if you have Canva, you can do 2 little backpacks, and then you could just see if you can find a picture with one of these on there. Or sometimes if you have any of the AI tools, you can take a picture of one of these and then ask it to create it with this on a backpack to put it on the sign, and then explain you're creating an experience where you get to create your own zipper pull, and you can call it whatever name you want to call it. Like for me, I called it the Beaded Zip Buddy. And then just make it, cute name, and then people can have that. But if you don't have those 2 tools, I don't know how you would do a picture of it unless you would actually take a picture of it on a different bag and put it in with the sign. Yep. So those are the things that you got to think about, of like, how can I get people to interact, to stop and come into the show, into your booth at that show. So that's why I wanted to do these, is for that reason, if you're an in-person event person. But if you are someone that is doing this as a fun hobby, as a fun way to interact with others, you have girls' night, you come together, you can show them how to make this, and you can use those. You could do the focals on and not do just these beads, but you can have that same thing, and they could do them as like Christmas gift or stocking stuffers, or just little things that you could put in bags for the littles in your life. So that's what I wanted to say, is this can be used by more than just the in-person, but those that are the enthusiasts that want to be able to create something as a gift, or if you know a lot of littles in your life and you just want to have them, then you do it. I have done where I will take the beads behind me and put them in bags and take them with me to someone's house. And then I teach them how to do the create the jewelry, and then there's so much per person to make things. So let's say, you can control what the amount of the beads that you're going to bring, the cost of them, and that way. Yep, customer appreciation gifts is a great one. I've done them that way. I have also done where I just took my completed jewelry and we had girls' nights, and they would invite all of their friends over and we would set it up in their house, and they would be, having their hors d'oeuvres and their drinks, and they would be shopping for jewelry and just coming and going, and then they commingle and they do that. So I've done both making them, the in-person, or just a shopping event, a pop-up event. You can do whatever you like. But I've done both. And I've even gotten, remember I told you get your you create the why did that word go out of my head? But when you create that connection at vendor events, I have gotten both of those styles of parties off of in-person shows. You put up a sign and you just say, are you interested in A or B? And then they talk to you about it. All right, 30K. Let's do another color, everybody. All right, there we go. So yeah, so I mean, and I've even done like Girl Scout troops and having little girls get together to get their badges, and we talk about a little bit about the jewelry that we need to do to fulfill their badge, but then they get to create also, and they usually just do a stretchy bracelet for that. But you can do these too. You just have to make sure that you talk with the leader to make sure that what you're going to be teaching fulfills for their badge. And when Buttercup has friends over, we make all kinds of stuff. We've done the pens, we've done necklaces, we've done bracelets. So there's lots of ways that you can. Hello, Therese from New Jersey. There's lots of ways that you guys can have in-person type shows. It doesn't have to always be about selling jewelry, and it doesn't have to be a vendor event. And then you always, like, if we're doing it where it is an in-person pop-up type show, I would do discounts depending on the total of the show, that they would get free or half price items, because they're the ones that opened up their house, and they also provided all of the refreshments that you guys were, that they were partaking in. And so because of that, that was their way. I thank them for hosting. No, nobody guessed. I didn't even see that it was counting down. I had pumpkin. Let's do an easy word, okay? So let's do an easy one. At least I think this one will be easy. There we go. I gotta go get another thing so I can write on it. All right, someone got this one. My chair slid on me when I went to sit down. All right, Miss Patty B, you are the winner. You are going to have $5 off your invoice. So congratulations. Did you guys notice it is a variegated? You're welcome. So this shirt has like pink to peach. So, and the thing is that you can use any colors for these. It doesn't have to be just like an ombre effect. I mean, I know I did 2 of them with the ombre, but the other ones weren't. The color was silver that time. Sorry, I didn't tell you. It was silver. So, one of the things that, that's the reason why I did this one, is I wanted you guys to have something to think about, and think about what else can you do if you're doing in-person shows. What are some other gift ideas that are very easy to do, and you can do to gift away, that type of thing. That's what I really want you guys to think about when you're thinking about going into this next season, because we do not have a lot of time now before we're going to hit the ground running. Oh, I am always here to share it. Always. And so, that's what I want you guys to think about with that. And so with that in mind, tomorrow, I want to talk about what we're going to do for sales and what we might end up having to do here. Tomorrow, we have basket sales. I know. And that's the thing, is you don't always have to think about the adults. When I started, I always put my kids' jewelry out in front. And I know that sounds weird, because everybody was like, were you worried about sticky fingers? I saw one, in the entire years that I did shows, I saw one child steal. Am I going to run down the mom and say your child stole? No. I just let them have it. And they turned around and smirked at me because they knew they got by with it. I've done those types of giveaways. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. When I do them in a casino that I did a show, they did work there. Those that I did not at a casino, it didn't work because the people that were wanting that, but they didn't want to host, an in-person event at their house or, type thing. And I've always wondered how to do them online, and I've never figured out how to do it online yet, with like using my website and having all the jewelry there, and then they can invite their guests to come to my website and do something. So I knew that. I haven't figured out how to do that. But if anybody has the opportunity to figure it out on a website, you can do that. That way, we have a casino just over the border in Iowa that has 3 times a year has an event. 2 of them are one is like a girls expo. So that one has vendors like that are of, like you could have any type of vendor at. And then, they have a fall and a spring that are craft only. So, and I've done all 3 in 1 year. They're very nice shows because they don't charge you. All you have to do is do a giveaway in your booth. But it's their way to get people to come into the casino. And they're going to sign up at everybody's because they're all about winning. Let me tell you. But I've always tried to sit here and figure out how I could do, because we've turned it into a society where we don't always get together. But heck, we'll do those parties online. So if somebody can figure that out, share it with the group, because I haven't figured it out yet. But for this week, tomorrow I will have basket sale at 2 p.m. So those are items that were up for grabs. They didn't pay their invoice, and so we have them up again. We've got that. Then tomorrow night, I don't have a live right now because of I have my board of directors meetings. And they do sign up at every booth. Oh, wow, that would be cool. And then on Wednesday, we are going to have the silicone sale. And what I'm bringing to that sale this week is that if you guys want to stock up to be able to do these, I am bringing all of the abacus colors that I have available. I am still working on getting all of the octagons ready, but I should be able to have those done by Wednesday. With the amount of colors that I have available, I don't know that I will get through it in even a 2-hour period. So that starts at 2 o'clock on Wednesday, or not 2 o'clock. It starts at noon on Wednesday. I will do a longer one. We will see where we're at on Wednesday to determine if we need to do another one this week to finish those up so that you can get all the colors you want to be able to do these, okay? So that's Wednesday. Wednesday night, we have chat time. Thursday at noon, we have bring back, which would be, I won't have focals this week. So just to let you know, no focals this week. I literally, all I've got prepared for the silicone sale will be the abacuses and the octagons, because I have new colors in those that you guys haven't seen before. Yes. And that's it. So the week after, I will bring focals the week after, okay? And then I've also got the pens in. I need to get the pens going and get those done, but I don't know that I will have time to do pens the week after that because we have the cabochon sale. No, I don't remember the lady's name that taught us about what not. Oh, I got that. That was the way it was. I knew it when I read it. I don't remember her name. Oh, what not? Was it August Fire Crystals? I think that's who it was. I think it was Erin from August Fire Crystals. So I believe that was who it was. So anyways, Thursday will be bring back items. So we'll bring back items. Yep, you can go ahead and ask her questions. It's August Fire Crystals. And so we got that. And then Friday, we will have a tutorial on I know it says wire wrap, but it is really memory wire, not wire wrap. I don't know how to wire wrap. And then Friday night, we will have our bead sale, and Saturday, we're going to have a charm sale. So that is what we got on the agenda for this week, just to let y'all know. But if you want times, go and look at the schedule to get the right times, in case I said them wrong, okay? But that is what we got up for everything. I'm going to hop off and go finish watching the game with Ryan, because I don't know if it's still on or not. He has not done anything yet, so I can't tell. I hope you all have a good rest of your night. We will see you at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and that's 2 p.m. Central. Yep. Bye, everybody.